what to do the whole
Hey, hi everybody. My name is Carrie Anderson. I'm so happy to be here for, I got my book right here, The Tales of the Zodiac book release party. I am on Malika's team and have had the pleasure of seeing this book be birthed behind the scenes. So
time.
we're going to have a little conversation today with the author and talk for probably about 30 to 45 minutes. We have some special guests joining us to read some of their tales too. If you don't have the book yet, it's okay. It will be coming soon, and you'll get a little sneak peek of what's inside today. And if you do have it, you guys can read along and check it out behind the scenes. So we will get started here. And just a little note, of course, this is being recorded and it will be sent out to everybody who registered after this. So if you want to watch it again, or hi to all the people that are watching this on the replay. Okay, so without further ado, I'm so happy to introduce Malika Semper. Congratulations
Hi
on your
guys.
book launch day.
Thank you. It's so good to see so many of you. I haven't seen like Karen. Karen's here. It's so surprising. My mom is here. Carrie's mom's here. Deborah's here and Tara's here. I'm so excited. Thank you guys for being here. It means a lot to me.
Hey, it's like a super fun birthday party for you. It's so
Mhm.
exciting. Okay, and I would love if we can start by you sharing why you picked today as the book's birthday
Mhm.
and what is happening astrologically today that makes it so special.
Yes. So when Carrie and I were trying to figure out like when this book should be launched, right? When the big day should be, we were looking at mid-June, and I think we randomly decided today, June 21st. And then I said, wait a minute, that's like the first full day of summer. So a really special day because the summer solstice was yesterday. And then I thought, oh my gosh, and it's the full first day of Cancer season too. So first full day of summer, first full day of Cancer season. And then I was I was like, and this is the Cancer art piece as well, right? Every tale came with an art piece from the most amazing artist in the world, Caitlin. And this is the one that we pulled out of the book and put on the cover too. So, Cancer art, first day of Cancer season, first day of summer. And it was just so synchronistic and all fell together. And then there's more. I was looking at the transits, especially in my chart. Deborah, it is the exact day of my Jupiter return. Is that not wild? The exact day of my Jupiter return. I think it was like all this week, but it pulled in from today too. Yeah, and so it was so synchronistic and everything just fell into place, and here we are.
Hey, meant to be. And
Mhm.
it's fun that Amazon randomly started sending them out this week. So a few people got
I
theirs early,
know.
which was a surprise, but really awesome.
Hmm.
Um, cool. So can you start by telling us, and I'm curious if you're watching this, how many of you have a desire to write a book? Because Melissa is going to talk a little bit about how this whole process went. So maybe if you can put a one in the chat, just so we know who is interested in writing a book. I've learned so much from going through this process with you. And I think it will be interesting for the other people that are here that have an interest.
Hmm.
So let's start with the writing of the poetry.
Hmm.
When we first started talking about this, you thought maybe it was going to be in a journal. So can you kind
Yeah.
of walk us through the process of how you came to having more of a coffee table book
Hmm.
and how the process was in writing them, if they came to you all at once or in little bits and pieces, or how
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Oh, Carrie Ellen's here. Yay. Yay. Okay, so it was like magic. It really was. So in some weird way, I was getting all these downloads in my sleep. And it would usually happen right around 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning. I was in the space between being fully awake and being fully asleep, right? There's this sort of dream world that you sort of linger in. And I was getting these sentences like bumbling around in my head, just bouncing around in my head. And they would not go away, or my brain would not shut off until I turned on the light and wrote them down in a notebook somewhere. And it was happening for weeks, you guys. And then in my waking hours, I would look and see like what I had written down and I would be like, who wrote that? But also this sounds so much like Aries or this sounds so much like Taurus, right? And so I started collecting all these writings in the middle of the night. And I will say too that Elijah was a really big part of it. So my youngest son, who is now in spirit form, he would come and basically wake me up, sit on the side of my bed at night, and wake me up to this process too. And oftentimes I was resistant because I would be like, Elijah, it's the middle of the night. Can we do this in the morning? Right? But no, he was very persistent. The words were very persistent. And then in the waking hours in the daylight, I would just sort of organize them and put them together, and they started to be birthed. So it really was like these, I don't know, downloads just jumping into my brain. And yeah, at first I thought, am I writing a journal here? Will I just share them like with my email list or on my socials? I didn't quite know. And then as they became more solidified, I thought, well, it's not big enough for a full-blown book, but maybe like a coffee table book? And then I sent Debra the Gemini one, and I would be like, what do you think of this? She calls me right away. And do you remember this? You called me right away, and you're like, I'm going to read it back to you. And I thought, oh, interesting. Okay. So I sat there and she's reading through it, and then she starts crying. And it was so, um, at that moment, I knew that there was something really potent there. I mean, moving my sweet Deborah to tears with her cancer midheaven. And so I thought, wow, okay. And then I just grabbed onto the idea of, yeah, this is a coffee table book. So now I need to find an artist because I want beautiful images to go along with it. And it was also synchronistic. There's a beautiful artist on Instagram that I had been following. Um, at cult.class is her Instagram page. Maybe you can put it in the chat, Carrie. And her name's Caitlin, and she makes amazing digital art. So I just reached out to her, and she said, "Yes, I would love to." Um, and so we started working together, and she created the images. I wanted something to really grab our attention. And of course, this is one of her beautiful images, and this is just one of my favorite art pieces ever. The pink octopus, the naked lady walking into the ocean, it's just stunning. I think her art is stunning. And so it just started to come to be, but it all started with Elia waking me up in the middle of the night and saying, it's time to write. And I literally could not fall asleep until I turned on the light and got it out of my system. So I was very tired for a while because I wasn't getting great sleep, right? But that's how the process started.
And then once you started sending them to like us on your team and to Deborah and
Hmm.
Tara behind the scenes, they were like fully complete. So I was surprised to see that they were coming to you in little bits because when we saw them, they
Hmm.
were like perfect. It really
Hmm.
didn't take a whole lot to put them into a book form.
Yeah, it was super fluid. It was bizarre. Like, I'm not an author. I mean, I write here and there, but it was bizarre how they just really melded, the sentences just magically melded together and created a tale, a poem. I was like, okay, I'm going to try these on some people. So, Carrie got some, Tara got some, Deborah got some, my mom got all of them.
And
Yeah.
you said you're not an author, but this book behind me proves otherwise. So you
Oh,
can officially say you're an author now, which is so cool.
so awesome. Thank you.
Okay, cool. And then one thing I was thinking about last night that I wanted to ask you about is one of my favorite things. My favorite thing about astrology is that it really gives people a mirror to be able to see themselves and accept themselves in a
Mm,
deeper way. And I
mm,
feel like your book goes into that even more because I've learned about Gemini. I know all the facts and stuff, the little
uh-huh.
details, but then the book just describes it so beautifully and like takes it to another level that even
Mm,
people who have been studying astrology for years are now going to be able to see themselves in a new way.
hmm.
So, can you talk about that a little bit? Like, where did the essence of it come from? Is that just your years studying astrology, or do you have any insights into how
Hmm.
you went deeper with it?
I think it's mostly my Neptune. I have Neptune right on top of my sun, which is actually a generational signature. My mom has it, Neptune on her sun. Elijah had it, Neptune on his sun. And Neptune just allows me to sort of go into the other worlds, and pull wisdom and pull information from there. And when I read the tales back too, they felt very Neptunian to me. Um, I don't know. I just sort of went into the magic of it. Deborah's taught me so much with this is what Gemini is, and this is the archetype of Virgo, and here's what we learn and receive from Sagittarius. So I took all of that and I wove my Neptune into it. And that's just what was birthed from that.
I love that. Okay, so we have the art now at this point. We have the book
Hmm.
or the writings.
Hmm.
What did you do from there? Like, can you talk about the people that you worked with to actually bring this to life?
Yes. So Tara was like, I know a girl. And then she introduced me to Jacqueline, who's here today. Wave, Jacqueline, wave. And I handed this baby over to Jacqueline, and she is a dream come true of an editor. And she took my words and she made them make sense. She also took all the F-bombs and all the damn its and all the cursing and counted it all up. She said, "Do you want this many F-bombs in the Sagittarius?" Or, so that was fun. And she really cleaned it up, and it was such a magical process. And to let her hold this book, I mean, she was like the first one that saw all of it. It's quite a vulnerable process, but we work together so beautifully. And then Jacqueline goes, "Well, I know a woman who does publishing and interior design and all of that." And so Stacy Aronson, I don't know if Stacy's here today. Then we handed it over to her and she created the whole entire layout. I've learned so much, you guys, about writing books. So everyone who put a one in the chat, right? It is such a process and there's so many steps. And as Deborah knows, there's so many steps to writing a book and you're pregnant forever and you're just waiting to pop that baby out. And it's an amazing process. So the people just sort of fell into my lap and it all lined up through word of mouth. I know a person. Hey, I know a person, right? And I just trusted it because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was just going into it so blind, right? It being the first time. So super thankful for the people that magically showed up.
And behind the scenes, you decided to go the self-publishing route. And with
Hmm.
that, you needed to come up with a publisher name. So can you
Hmm.
talk a little bit about that? Can we give a nod to your
Yeah.
publisher?
Yeah. So Ingram Sparks is who we are publishing through, but then I needed a publishing company. So I came up with Two Sons Publishing. Sun in the sky, but also my two boys. And it just felt really perfect for me. Two Sons Publishing.
I love it.
Hmm.
And I know that this is like asking someone when they'll have a baby right after they've had a baby, but do you have plans for your next book, or can you give us any insight of what you might be writing next?
Hmm. So I'm putting together Elia's story, my youngest son who passed about a year and a half ago. And it's going to be a memoir of my experience with him, mostly in the last 5 years of his life. And so that's going to be a whole different experience, as you guys can imagine. It'll be quite deep and probably a very therapeutic experience. And um, I'm going to give it a go and see how strong I can be through it. Yeah, that's the plan. And I'll be having, oh, I think
In
Carrie,
your
are you there?
future.
Yeah,
Happy for you.
yeah. You're
I'm
back,
back.
Carrie. Hmm.
Okay.
And I think that the women that have really lined themselves up to create this particular book, I think I'll probably lean in on them again to help bring Elia's story to life too.
Cool. Can't wait to
Hmm.
read it. Okay, well, with that, I'm going to turn it over to you so you can introduce our first special guest and we can hear some of the book.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys have heard of Debra Silverman or not, but she is my favorite Gemini monster. And I found her like, I don't know, 9 years ago now, 9, 10 years ago. It's almost a decade. And I mean, the skies opened up and the angels were singing when I found Deborah. It was such a divine sort of happening in my life. And I saw her, as many of you guys probably saw her funny YouTube videos, that she made acting out all the signs. She's so entertaining. And I was watching her and I thought, oh my gosh, I need to meet her. I want to make her my best friend. How do I find her? And then I saw she had a school. And so I jumped right into the school. And as I was doing level 3, which I think a lot of you guys here are familiar with, I got to meet Deborah in person. And I don't know, there was just like a beautiful connection, soul connection, sister connection, mentor connection. So she's so many things to me. She's my fairy godmother. She is my teacher. She is one of my closest people in my life. We work a lot together, and I just have such immense respect and awe of. She has a magnet in her belly button, and she just makes all sorts of things happen. All sorts of things get magnetized and brought into fruition through her. And this book is no different. So, of course, she was one of the first ones I sent Gemini to, and she was like screaming and crying at me on the phone. She screams a lot, out of excitement, out of excitement. And so, she was like one of my first and biggest supporters in this. There's my lovely Deborah here in the room.
Thank you so much, Malika.
You're so welcome.
I honestly, I don't know if I scream, but even reading
You
them as
did.
now, did I scream? Yeah,
You
but
did.
it's mostly the tears of authenticity and
Mm,
embodiment. And I just want to say about your Neptune, because it's so hard to put in words what you've done,
mhm,
that you're a channel, and this was written by a higher source. So you
mhm,
became the vessel. And they knew how to download because how many of us wake up in the middle of the night with something and we don't write it down?
mm,
So the difference between us and you, Mercury and Capricorn and Saturn,
mhm.
go is that you brought it down to earth. So I just
Yeah.
want to thank you for taking your home office orders and then serving us with that promise because so many of us, I know for me, I
Mhm.
pretty much every single night I dream, and every morning I feel like guilty because I didn't write it down and
Yeah.
I didn't unpack it. So someone's trying to talk to me, but you did it, Malika. So thank you for being our inspiration that says, wake up in the middle of the night, get a dream instinct or a message and write it down. But that is
Mhm.
so Mercury and Capricorn and so Saturn and Virgo. You brought it to Earth.
And Deborah also has a strong Neptune. Deborah has Neptune on her rising sign, for those of you guys that didn't know.
Yeah, but I don't, you're like, you didn't tell them about the tarot book either, that you wrote
Oh,
another
yeah.
book.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm working on a tarot book and I called Malika and I say, Malika, would you write a poem for each card? And she like whips it out and like, I don't know how long that took you, but
It was like 4 days. It was crazy.
for all the major arcana, she's written a whole nother series of poems. And if you turn me on to all these people, Jacqueline and whoever, I'd love to put my book together and do a self-publishing project because I've never
Hmm.
self-published. So,
Hmm.
inspiration, Malika.
Yes.
Yeah. So and reading the Gemini, which I'm happy to do, and you
Hmm.
probably, if you haven't got the book yet, when you read yours, it is really important to read out loud because the poetry, what Neptune does is it dances. Neptune is the dancer, and
Hmm.
classical music it's an organic, energetic, rhythmic movement that you have given us the gift of. So is that okay? Should I read it?
Yeah. Carrie's a time to read? Yes.
Okay,
Carrie says yes.
this it's a little I have to say it's a little embarrassing because I feel like she snuck up on me and then she wrote the book again. And now I'm reading you about I just pretend I'm not a Gemini so I don't feel self-conscious because
Okay.
and they're like I'm going to say 98%, but let's pretend that I'm a Taurus and I'm just reading this for smoothly
Perfect.
and deliciously.
Perfect.
You don't go the speed limit. You rev your engine and travel 1,000 miles an hour, daring us to keep up with you. You're a lighthouse in the distance as we seek refuge in your presence. Your light shines through the darkest night, guiding us. Constant movement. You won't hold still for long. No, that's not how you flow. You flirt flower to flower, gathering your information to build your empire of stars. You weave together words and wisdom and deliver them to your castle of people who eagerly await your return, hoping you might shine on them next. You're a child at the adult's table and wouldn't want it any other way. Peter Pan at heart. You'll never be compared to a stuffy adult. What's the fun of that? You make a promise to never grow up. You tickle us with your lightness of being and use our laughter as sails to bring you to our next curious adventure. Mischievous eyes are part of your outfit. When you turn them on us, we get giddy with excitement, begging you to grab us by the hand and take us with you. And we're off to the outermost galaxies, hand in hand, where you show us things we never dreamed of. You wither in the face of stagnation. You would lie down and beg to die at the foot of boredom. So you keep moving, too fast for us. Somehow you make a hot mess look good. You damn near make it look sexy. Your hands never stop moving, and we can only dream that you'll play us like a piano. The wind, your first lover, makes garments flutter like linen against your willowy body. You're a breath of fresh air, and we get drunk off your breeze. Look, you say, keep your eyes open, and we do, because we trust you. And with you by our side, we behold the wonders of this world. You won't bother with anything short of amazing. You take your finger, briefly touch our third eye, and we're awakened. You don't want us to miss a beat. The use of words is the only sword you'll need. You blast them at us and hit your target before we even think to duck. You don't miss, nope, you don't ever miss. Your wild tongue licks the skin off our bones when you feel wronged. You lash us with wit and wisdom. Your mind is crystalline precision. Will never be a match for your intelligence. The fountain of youth provides your beverages, which you delicately sip from as though others surrounding you look on. Your ethereal beauty is a sight to behold. Just when we think we know you, you delightfully surprise us. Those of us who want to keep hold of you have another thing coming. You slip through our fingers gracefully, elegantly, and before we know it, you're gone. You won't be held down. You don't stay for long. There are too many who need you, who inspire you, who want to breathe you in. We were the lucky ones to have been met by your presence. Your laughter still echoes within our four walls. Your lipstick stain remains on the coffee cup. So we sit, wait, and pray we'll see you again in some galaxy, on some star, as you roam the world in search of understanding. Will you return? Only time will tell. I'm
Mm.
gonna cry again.
If that's not Deborah, you guys. Oh, wait, we're pretending she's a Taurus. Yeah, there you go.
It's so moving. It's like having
Mm,
someone, I feel like you have the gift of painting with words in a very etheric way. Like that, like the energetic of that,
hmm
the lipstick on the cup,
hmm
words that are swords, making
hmm
a hot mess look sexy. How did she do that?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. There's the picture for Gemini.
Oh,
Somebody asked, I think it was Morgan who asked.
that is
There's
so beautiful.
yeah, there's our two ladies, our twins on the beach with huge flowers
And the wind.
and the wind. Yeah.
The wind in her sails. I love it so much. And the wind is my lover. And I've been saying that for years and years and years.
hmm
And
Yeah.
I'm going, you guys, get ready. You got to tell you a crazy story. Next month
hmm
to my 50th high school reunion,
What?
and they call me Peter Pan
Do they? Of course they do.
because I'm
Oh my
walking into
gosh.
almost 70-year-olds and they look like that age. And then they look at me and go, what did you, someone asked me, have you been having a lot of sex? That's
hmm
what someone said to me. They were like, why do you look like that? I
And
said,
what'd you
I
say?
have a lot of sex. I said, of course. Men, women, they all just, yes,
All day.
so full of
Clear my
shit.
schedule. Yeah. I love it. Thank you so much, Deborah.
You, Malika, thank
Such a
you.
good storyteller, such a good reader.
I want to go read it again.
And
Do
I
it.
want to add in that Deborah and her team have graciously offered her course that's called Your Highest Calling, all about the
hmm
midheaven as part of your bonuses for pre-ordering this
And
book.
they've been coming in, Malika.
Have they?
I've been seeing every day, like just, yes.
Oh, that
Carrie, have
makes
you
me so
seen how many
happy.
sales? There's been
I
so
can't see
many.
from my side, but yeah. So I'll put the link to it in the chat, and I'll also put it in the follow-up email if you're not able to get in, but you do have to like enter into the class before July 4th. So make sure that you get in there so that you can see all the midheaven content.
Okay, good to know. Thank you so much for that generous gift, Deborah, too. Yeah.
So easy to give to you, Malika. All you do is
Oh,
give to us.
I love you. I love you. I love you. Okay. What next, Carrie? Tell me what to do.
I am going to pin your next special guest.
Ooh. Okay, are we ready? We have my darling Tara in the room, who I think most of you guys know. Um, this was also a very divine happening when we connected. Tara is one of my, I mean, we talk every day. We talk multiple times a day. It drives me nuts that she lives on the East Coast because she goes to bed like 3 hours before me then. And there's still so much to say that she has to wait till the morning to get it. She goes to bed way before me. Um, but we talk every day, and there's so much support there and so much love there. I would say that Tara is probably someone, maybe like number one, who knows me better than anybody, really. She knows like all the corners of my world. And as I was writing these, I would send them to Tara. And my first question to her, because she's very earthy, she's very grounded with her Capricorn Sun and her Capricorn Mercury, I would say, tell me if this is too much. And then I would send another one and I would say, tell me if this is too much. Because all my fire can kind of get, uh, can do too much easily. And she would say, yes, but it's perfect. Yes, it's too much and it's perfect. So I really trusted in that. And to be able to share this with her. Uh, I mean, one of my biggest cheerleaders, one of my biggest supporters, so she means so much to me. And so thankful that she's in my everyday life and able to hold this book. I think she got her copy, right? Yes, you did get the copy. Um, and she is going to read some paragraphs from Capricorn for us, for her Capricorn Sun and Mercury.
Yes. Hi, everybody. I'm so honored to be here. I'm so honored to be mentioned in her book. That was a huge, it's almost, I'm a Capricorn. It's a little bit hard to be with that acknowledgement, but so thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I did find the first text that you sent me. I remember when I got the Aries poem, I was a passenger in the car, and
Mm-hmm.
the text, which I just found this morning, said, I wrote an Aries poem. Is this entirely too much?
Sounds about right.
And then I responded, oh my God, I love it.
Uh-huh.
You said, and by the way, when I read it, I was like, what is it? Like she didn't give me, all she said was, I wrote an Aries poem. Do you want to hear it? And it's like it came from somewhere else. Like I couldn't even be with what I was reading. So,
Mhm.
and then I said, oh my God, I love it. And you said, really? I feel like it might be too much. And then many, many, many funny emojis. That's so Malika style. So yeah, and it just, you're right. Like it is, it what like there was, they were very, you're a double Sagittarius. So it's like this
Mhm.
truth just flowed through you. And that's what's so amazing is it's the poetry that seeps into your pores and it's almost like you don't even know it. And it moves something inside of you. And
Mm.
as Carrie said in the beginning, like there's so many astrology books you could read about being a Capricorn, being a Gemini. And when I had to pick this morning, like I knew I was going to pick, and yeah, of course I couldn't decide because I have a Libra moon, and they were all, but because part of the poem made me feel so seen when I was younger.
Mhm.
And then another part was like, I am like that as a lover. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
So they speak to you in a way that you can't quite understand with it's so Neptunian.
Mhm.
So when I was picking which part I was going to read, I'm just going to read a short little part. It was an oracle. absolutely an oracle for the next big mountain that I am ready to climb, right? Because that's who I am. I like to be like, I don't know how we're getting there, but we are.
Mhm.
So I will read it to you.
Okay.
Again, this is just like a little section or like a little 4 little paragraphs.
Mhm.
Saturn's child, you make hard work look easy. You make it look like you're doing a dance with God, simple steps, natural movements with such grace that always lead you to the top. And when you arrive at success, you stand tall with pride. You knew you'd get there. We knew you'd get there. You reach your hand down to meet ours, reaching up towards you because you recognize it's lonely at the top and human connection is really a desire that you strive for. You gather us around you as the mountain holds you and the trees bend towards you as earth sighs with pleasure at your touch. You command nature just as you command our attention. We receive the words you teach, the wisdom you share with hungry eyes. We gasp with pleasure as you stain our bodies with your knowing. So it was like, that was exactly what I needed to read when I was reading the words this morning. So
Mm.
yeah, these poems are so multifaceted. You know, you talk about that, Malika, in the beginning of your book, like how to use them even on a daily basis, right? So they're
Yeah.
so rich. And I'm so grateful to be a part of this process.
Thank you so much, Tara. And I will say too that um that Capricorn poem was like really inspired from Tara. Like I really channeled her when I was writing this, and I would channel, the people that I knew for these archetypes as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you, my beastie.
Yeah.
Hmm. Oh, and Deborah wrote the foreword for my book. How lucky am I for that? She wrote me the most beautiful foreword. It was like a love letter. I wanted to print it out and frame it and hang it over my bed. I mean, it is a
What
beautiful,
did I
beautiful
say? What did
words.
I say?
You said so many beautiful things. You'll get the book and you'll see it all. It was beautiful. Amazing.
Okay, so now we are going to launch a little poll on your screen, and you guys that are here live can choose which poem you want Malika to read. So I'm going to
Oh my
launch it right
gosh.
now.
Look how fancy,
It is.
Carrie.
Ooh, oh, they're moving all around.
Oh, this is crazy. I've never seen anything like this.
Really? It's so fun.
No.
We should do these more often. I included Gemini and Capricorn just because they would feel left out, but
Okay.
it's like nobody's picking them, so that's good.
Okay.
All right. We'll give it like 10 more seconds. If you haven't
You
picked yet.
guys, Cancer and Leo is tied. Somebody has to break the tie. Somebody's got to do it. Oh, someone did
You could
it.
do it in honor for Cancer today because it's a Cancer day.
Oh,
I could.
so it looks like Leo pulled ahead. Leo got 7, which I think is the most.
Okay, we're going to do Leo then. Yeah, we got some applause from Gabriella. Okay, so we're doing Leo? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, let me close that box on my screen. All right. I'm at the tail end of a cough, you guys. So there might be some theatrical,
While you
dramatic
pull it up,
coughing.
I'm going to share the picture because this is one of my favorite pictures.
Oh, yes. I'm
But
so glad you have the. Oh, there's our Leo girl. Look at her. Okay, I'm going to start reading. A Leo tale. You take your position on the throne as if you were born for it, and you were. We can't help but bow down at your feet. The sun fuels your power. Some of us look up to you, others are jealous of all you are. The jealousy projected on you only makes you more powerful. Bring it on, you say, with a low growl in your belly. I dare you. You spend your days fostering your inner child with the love you crave. The weight of your crown cramps your neck, and you get bored of our worship. You rip it from your head, and you beg us to play with you like a child, because that is your true nature. godlike, and childlike. They're the same for you. Your creative process is like no other. Paint streaked across your arms, glitter in your hair, fire in your eyes. Like the sun, you don't give a damn if you blind us. Many have to look away. The light you carry within you is like God turning on a million suns at once. Your mouth is the entrance to our own personal Garden of Eden. Your heart is made of an ancient golden fire. You won't settle for the bare minimum. You want the sun and the moon. You want the ache of a broken heart repaired by another's hands who lives for you and you alone. You want to romance the fuck out of your life. You'll have it no other way. You dream of a love so saturating it makes your teeth throb. You're starving for it. And we ask you, do you really want love? Or just the soothing medicine of knowing you're lovable? The world is at your calling. Even she can't slow you down, hold you back, or stop your fire from blazing. This is what you've been preparing for, propelling yourself into the greatness of all that you are, which is absolutely everything, all at once. We observe in awe. We hear you roar like a lioness when you feel wronged. We listen to you purr like a kitten when you are pleased, and we crave to hear that purr from our doing. So we lean into the madness of loving you. Your eyes on us send shivers up and down our spine. We eat from your hand, begging for more. Being loved by you is like winning the lottery of life. Your love holds us by the throat as we follow in your wake, begging you to turn around and see us. To be you is to perform. You want to be a celebrity, yet unknown. You crave the spotlight, yet purr in the dark. You want to be center stage, yet hidden among the wildflowers, blending in until we don't know the difference between you and a majestic sunflower. You shield your eyes as the curtains lift and the lights shift to you, as you stand solo on stage, being the main character of this life. This is a big ask. Who else but you can step into it? A fear of the dark, you will never shy away from the lights. A fear of being nameless, you will make sure everyone remembers who you are, king of the world. You are the untamed child. The wonder of this life never ceases to amaze you as you touch what you've been told not to, and enter where you were forbidden to go. This is you. You will not be told what to do. You came in with a lion's heart, fearless and stubborn, brave and wild. Your past lovers live between your teeth, in the rise of your hips, underneath your fingernails, and we know we'll be making our beds there eventually. We take what we can from you while we have you. We take a piece of you that was never ours to begin with. And so you walk the world, replenishing your fire, gathering more kindling for your heart and containing the pieces of your spark so they don't cause a wildfire. We beg you not to subdue the spark. You're exhausted from the work. Raise your arms and let your fire rage and roar around us. We want to be dancing in your flame, turned orange from the light it casts into the shadows, until we ourselves become transmuted by the alchemy of you. Who wrote that? That's wild.
Love it.
There's Leo for you guys.
Yay. Well, thank you all so much for being here today. One quick announcement. We have a reading giveaway that we did as part of this pre-order. So Malika, will you announce who won the reading?
Yes, her name is, let me see if she's here today. I don't think she's here today, but her name is Kristen Sciarappa. I'm totally butchering that last name, you guys. Kristen Sciarappa, I apologize. But you won the free reading with me, so we will reach out to you and offer that to you, and you can grab it.
I will email her. And if we can
Okay,
do
good.
one thing before we go, if you have your book, if you can grab it, and if you can turn your camera on. If you don't have it, just give us a big smile, and Malika, get your camera ready so we can share this on social.
Okay, are you going to take the picture, or do you
Yeah,
want
I
me
can
to?
do it. If you don't
Okay.
have it, it's okay. We still totally want you in there. So just everybody give a big old smile. Yay. Okay, wait, let me go to the next page because I think there's another page. Okay,
Mhm.
one more time, everybody hold it up. Yay! All right, well,
Awesome.
congratulations again, Malika. We're so proud of you and happy for you, and I can't wait for all of you to get this in your mail soon. It will be there soon.
Thank you guys so much. Your support means the world to me. And Deborah for being here. I know you're the busiest woman on earth. And Tara for being here. I know your Capricorn has a whole list of to-dos today. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yay. Yay. Bye, everybody.
Okay. Bye, you guys. Enjoy the
Okay.
day. Mwah.
Bye. Yay, Malika.